All right, thanks for watching. If you got one of these piece of craps LG refrigerators, just kidding. It's been nice. It's been 7 years. It's all right. But I guess they had a class action lawsuit and they had problems. I'm doing an update. I'm making this part of the video and you can watch the rest of the video after I started, before I knew exactly what my problem was. So I woke up this morning and the floor was all wet. My refrigerator was not cooling. I've unplugged it now for you guys to try to troubleshoot your problem. Let's go over everything I've learned. I do know the problem now, and I was trying to read the board in the back. There's a LED board that gives you Morse codes. Well, that didn't give me any because it thinks everything's working fine, but it's not. Mine has an error 22. The 22 is going to pop up here. I'm going to show you how to find your error problem. Then if you get a different number, you can Google that error code or call LG and ask them what that error means. Let's get started. First of all, unplug your unit for 30 seconds. Coming over here, and now I'm gonna plug mine back in. Okay, and if you're scared to get shocked, don't mess with it. Walk away, just kidding. But you're gonna unscrew this panel right here. There's a panel in the back. This is what it will look like. This cover right here, it's got 3 screws on it. You remove that. I've already removed this panel here, and there is a, I believe it's called a condenser fan over here. Get the flashlight going so you guys can see what's going on. I know my fan is working here. That means that is not the problem. This cools all your fins over here. Then you have a compressor over here. If your compressor has gone bad, that's a bad thing. It's about $1,000 to fix that, just for that. I know there is a warranty with the class action lawsuit with LG. If your fridge is less than 5 years old, call LG customer service and tell them that this is defected. They may just charge you for $150, $160 for this. Then you just have to pay for the install. I'm sorry, that's for the install, about the $150, $60. My problem is inside of here. It's a relay. If you hear clicking on your compressor, click every so often, that's trying to start and it can't start this. If this is not vibrating at all, then your compressor has gone bad. Or the relay is not letting it start. I'm sorry, the relay is not letting it start if it's not clicking. If it sounds hollow, then that is bad. I could hear mine trying to like trickle, but it's not starting. This is your relay. I unscrewed one screw, and it's a little bit hard to get this off, and you have to pop it. That's your relay in there. That's what needs replacing if you have error 22. Pretty simple. You just unplug that piece against the compressor, and then you got your relay where you replace it. Not a very expensive part, easy fix, especially if it's giving you a click every so often trying to start your compressor and it's not doing it. That's your fix right there. Or if you get the error 22 that you've watched in my video. We're gonna go over to the motherboard. I'm gonna explain to you guys why we took this panel off right here. This is a PCB board. You can find these. I believe that the model number on this is either over here. You can start typing in these numbers over here. Watch your fingers, don't start touching stuff. There is a fuse over here. You could check if that's not working. If you're not getting any power on your refrigerator, it could be that little $3, $4 fuse right there, because this is where the power goes into the unit and then it has to go past that fuse. So no power whatsoever, that's probably your problem right there. That'd be a quick fix for people who landed on this video. Also, this fuse right here, where'd it go? I just pointed it for you guys for a second. Okay, right there. Make sure that that little metal line is going all the way through. If it's not, you need to replace that fuse. Look for burn marks or something on here. If you find any burn marks, then you definitely have a problem in your PCB board and you need to get one of those. There's more numbers right there you could type in to try to find this exact unit. Most of the ones that were made, the LG refrigerators, look identical to this. And even if you have a Samsung, I believe this problem will help you. So anyways, let's get to this reset switch. I'm pushing it. Watch your finger, don't touch nothing else. You heard one beep. Gonna go over to the front of the unit right here, and your panel will look like this, where it knows that it's testing it. What that is, and I also explained this in the other part of the video, you need to push these buttons and trick your unit. There's 2 sides here. You can see my tape. And if you hold both of those, your light will turn off as if it's closed. And then it thinks it's shut, and make sure that a fan is running way back in here. Mine is when it's closed. So only when it's closed, you have to tell it. So when the fan is running, you know your fan's not bad. If your fan is not working in here at all, when you make like the door is closed, then you have a bad fan in here. You have to take all these shelves out, and there's a fan down there that turns and circulates the air. If that's the case, then you need to replace that. Down in here also you have another fan. And now we have it in test mode. The one beep means that it's testing these two fans. So right now that fan is also spinning. I know I don't have a fan issue. Also, the first fan that I showed you guys in the beginning, if that's your problem, then you just need to get a new fan over here. You see that little fan spinning right there? Okay. So next, we're gonna push the button. This is how I got the error code. You heard 2 beeps. That means that's second test code. Going over to the front of the unit, and this is how I got the error 22. If you Google that, it will talk about error 22 means that it's your relay on your compressor. So that is the problem with my unit. I'm gonna order that part online. It can't be more than probably 20, 30 bucks. And it's inside of here. Make sure to unplug your unit and replace that. Also, if you hear clicking, if it's trying to click, click, click every so often, mine's not doing that, that'll be a bad relay too. Mine's completely shot. That's why it's giving that error 22. There is a LED light right there that I'm shining the light on. And if that happens to flash, and I'll talk about that, I'm gonna attach the other video to this, there's a Morse code, 1 flash, and then a pause, and then another flash, and then a pause. That would be error 1. And then if it goes blink, blink, and then pauses, that's error 2. So use the chart on the next part of the video. Keep watching, and I'll talk about those error codes. Mine's not doing that. It thinks it's working fine. This is my problem solved. I hope this video helped you guys out, and give me a thumbs up if you learned anything or it helped you out. Really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Keep watching for the next part of the video. Show you guys some troubleshooting tips to try to fix that. What you're gonna do is go behind the refrigerator, and I already have this compartment unscrewed. It's the main motherboard, PCB board. And we have a compressor over here, and I've already unscrewed that panel that was on there. And also the 3 screws on this panel that you see. This is what it will look like if you have this model. You have your fan over here, and then you have your compressor. Right now mine is vibrating, that's good. And also my fan is working. If you come over here, there's a reset button right here. Make sure to unplug your unit. And a quick tip for you guys, if your refrigerator is not working correctly, by unplugging it, that will automatically put it in reset mode if you need to reset it or reboot it. So now I'm gonna plug it back in. Be very careful not to touch anything over here because there is live electricity. And if you wanna go into test mode, the first thing you're gonna do is push this 1 time. You'll hear your refrigerator beep a few times. Do not touch anything over here, you can get electrocuted. Give it a second, and then your compressor should vibrate very lightly. Also over here, your fan is running. So right now I'm getting the vibration, and also my fan is running. Now I'm gonna go over to the front of the unit to make sure that my evaporator fan in my refrigerator and in my freezer is flowing. So over here I am getting airflow. As long as it's cold or warm, it doesn't matter. That just shows that it's working. And back here, there is another fan. You can hear that working just fine too. All right, so now I'm gonna close this. Everything looks good. So right now it's in test mode, and your panel will look a little funny like that. So now we're gonna go over here and push the button 1 more time. 2 beeps. Hearing a double beep means that you're in test mode number 2, and that means that only one of your evaporator fans inside of the refrigerator will be getting cold at this time. And I'm checking them both. If your evaporator fan is not working on either one of them, that means that you could have ice built up in there, or you can have a bad evaporator fan, which means you'll need to disassemble the unit here to replace that. Depending on your model, that could be a difficult one to check if you don't have the same exact one that I do, because they just recently put that second test mode in here. A 3rd time pushing this test button. The 3rd test means that both of your compressor and your fan will turn off, and then your evaporator fan should turn off. Also, it is going into defrost mode. So if there's nothing to defrost and it's already warm, this test won't work for you if it's already thawed out. And that's the end of the test right there. So if you want to reset your refrigerator, All you'll do is pull this out, count to 10 seconds, and then put it back in. That automatically turns your refrigerator back to normal. Also, I want to point out to you that there is a LED light over here, and if it blinks and it's blinking, it's a Morse code. I'm going to put up a chart on the screen showing you what you need to look for. 1 beep, 2 beeps, 3 beeps, etc. Look at the photo. Also, you can inspect your PCB board to see if there's any issues. Make sure, use a flashlight and see if there's anything burned out back here. There is a fuse right there. Make sure that it's a solid wire going left and right. Remember not to touch it. And this fuse you can't check unless you have a power tester, and you could put it on the ohm setting to see if there is a connection going through, or you can just replace the fuse, which is only going to cost you a couple bucks. If you need to replace your PCB board, which is usually the second most common problem, the first one is usually your compressor has gone bad. But if you need to replace this, there is model numbers on here, and you can actually Google them or contact LG directly to try to get this exact model number. It's either this one or that one, I couldn't remember. But once you search that and you get a new PCB board, then you can replace this. It's not that hard. You have a few plugs there, a few plugs here. Just remember to turn off your power if that is the issue. And if anything in this video helped you out, and hopefully that you just had to unplug your unit and replug it back in and this solved your problem, give me a thumbs up. If you're back here already, you already have everything unscrewed. You can take an air compressor and blow this out right here if it's really dusty. Your fan, that's just regular maintenance back here. That needs to be done time after time to keep it clean and keep the fan running smoothly.